All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. We are coming up on some big snowstorm, right? I don't know if everybody's been watching that, but just kind of a heads up. If you haven't looked at the news lately, we're supposed to be getting, I think my wife told me like 9 inches of snow on Friday, I believe. So tons of snow coming. So get your snow gear out. Hopefully you get to have fun in it. We're doing that today. We're going out to our shed and we just keep what do you call them? Just big Tupperware tubs of garbage out there. And so we've got to look through all that stuff to pull all our winter stuff out. So we're excited about that. That's fun. It's one thing to look forward to. The other thing is make sure that I just wanted to talk about if you're having issues, and I'm going to talk about one specific issue, make sure you're getting on top of those issues right away. If you're having a problem with accessing something, if you're having a problem with, something that breaks, you make sure you take care of those ASAP, like as soon as possible. Let me let this last person in real quick. The reason I'm saying that is because I've had multiple people email me over the last week and a half or so, probably like 6 or 7 people about having issues with their Chromebooks. If you're having problems with your Chromebooks, like running slow, there's some type of I know on an iPhone, they call them like hard restarts that you can do. It's some type of restarting the Chromebook, not just turning it off and turning it back on. There's like a little bit of a process. I think they emailed that out a while ago. I don't remember what it was, or if you just can't get it fixed, or maybe it's totally not working. I think 2 out of the 6 or 7 people that contacted me, their Chromebook is just dead. Like they try to charge it, nothing happens. Please, either if you don't know what to do, just contact me. I would be happy to get you the right information and point in the right direction. Or if you do know how to fix whatever problem you're having, make sure you get on top of that as soon as possible. All right, I'm going to share my screen. So for this week, you have your test. So Unit 4 test, like always, there's a review right here. This is straight out of your textbook, so you can either access it in your textbook or on here. It's the same exact review. My review video tutorial is just me going through that review. So I'll talk about the summary of each lesson, the vocab, the example problem, and then I think they usually give, I think we were talking like 3 to 5 different problems for each lesson. So that's just this video tutorial of the review is just me going through the review for you. So if you want to open that up and watch that, you're more than welcome to. But at the very least, I'm continuing to stress this. If you're doing this review, make sure you have the solutions manual open, because that's not only the answers, it's the steps, right? And I'm telling you, that is super helpful. My own kid is in Algebra 2, and the other day he was asking for help, and I'm like, do you have the solutions manual open, right? Because you can kind of walk yourself through the problem step by step. It's really nice to be able to bounce that off of that sheet. So make sure you're using that as you do this review. And the test, let me stress this. Don't just jump into the test and take it once and just, see how it goes. Don't have that mentality. Make sure you have reviewed some material, at least went back and looked at the sections in your book, at least. You have your notes out, things like that, before you tackle that test. And remember, this test is kind of fair game. So if you want to use your book, open your book. If you don't know what a vocab word means, just look in your book and look it up, right? Or Google the vocab word. That's fine. So make sure you're setting yourself up for success. You got 2 shots. It's going to keep the higher of the 2 scores. So good luck with that. And then one last reminder about this missed Zoom call. Last semester, I had just the running list of missed Zoom classes, up there. So all I'm doing now is I'm going to delete this after tomorrow. That way I've had 2 days for each class to talk about. And I'm going to start putting those Zoom sessions underneath the week. So for this week, 2.8 to 2.14, I'm putting all the Zoom sessions inside that module. And then for next week, I'll put it inside the next module, and so on and so on. So hopefully that'll streamline that process. So after tomorrow, I'll go ahead and delete that, and then we'll just have one less thing on our Canvas screen, right? Next week's stuff also unlocked today. So you're more than welcome to access that if you're done with your test. I would say if you're done with your test, I highly encourage you to use this time today in class to do that, right? I think that's a great use of time to get a jump start on this. So don't forget this interactive textbook. This is just the pages we're on in the textbook. It'll give you the link to access the PDF of the textbook, or it'll give you the link to access the interactive textbook. So check that out if you need it. Practice problems. These are the problems I want you to be doing each week. Just like I said before with the review, when you're doing those practice problems, have that solutions manual open, right? Have that open and make sure that your steps are good. Make sure that your answer is correct every single problem. I hate doing like 6 problems and going back and be like, oh man, I forgot about that step. So now I'm, I didn't do any of these problems correctly. So have that solutions manual open when you're doing these practice problems. And then if you just need some extra practice, maybe a handful of problems went bad for you and you still want to practice them, just access this section. It'll give you some extra problems that you can practice on. And then what's going to be due on the 21st. So Sunday, the 21st at 11:59 p.m. You've got the vocabulary and concepts and the check-in. This is basically an assignment. This is basically a weekly quiz. The one thing I really want to stress here is for this vocabulary and concepts, I'm getting emails from students that are like, I'm putting the right answer, but it's marking it wrong. And by all means, make sure you're emailing me if that's happening and you don't know what's happening, because I could have made a mistake and screwed something up. But what I want to stress is when you're doing this vocab and concepts, have your textbook open. So have it open to 5.1 and be looking for that information, because when I build this vocab and concepts, I am taking those questions directly from the lesson, right out of the textbook. So you should be able to find all the answers to this just using your textbook, right? And then the check-in, this is just the quiz that'll cover those questions or the concepts that you learn for the week. And then, like I said, the solutions manual does all these practice problems. The solutions manual is actually the answers to all the problems in the whole lesson. And then my video tutorial is just me going through the lesson for you. So it's just like if you were sitting in class. So I'll introduce it, I'll talk about it, I'll give you tips and tricks, I'll express vocabulary, all that kind of stuff. I'll go through all the example problems, all the practice problems. So make sure you're accessing that if you need help. So this unlocked today, and remember, this is just unlocking early. So it's not like you have to get on top of it today. It's not due for 11 or 12 days. So it's not due till February 21st. It's just unlocking a little bit early. So if people want to, they can access it early. All right. I don't have anybody waiting. Yeah, Haley, thank you. You can definitely call the school and get a new one. From my understanding, you can just take it into the front desk and either switch it out with the front desk people, or you can take it up to the library and switch it out with the librarian. So, but yes, you can take it straight into school. No appointment necessary. Just take it in there and switch it out. Perfect. All right, I'm going to hang back and talk with people that have questions. If you're good to go, make sure you use this next 40 minutes to start digging through math and start looking at the review material and start taking this test. I'm going to hang back and talk with people. If you do have a question, hang back with me. If you're good to go, then take off and just email me if any questions come up. Thanks, Jacoby. Bye, Nevaeh. See you guys. Have a good day. We'll see you on next week. Thanks, Ashley. You too.
I don't have a book in general. Where do I get one?
Yeah, Bailey, you can either, so let me show you. If you go for today, what you can do is you can go to this interactive textbook for next week, right? Okay. This lesson for next week. And when you click on that, it'll give you the website to go to and log into Envision. Okay. So you'll go to Symbaloo. You'll see this Envision tab right here. So you'll click on
I did Envision for my old class.
Oh, sweet. So you'll go into Envision. Let me see if I get in there. And then I'm just going to show you where you can access the PDF version. Did you ever access the PDF version in your old class?
No.
Okay, let me show you where it's at then. Okay, so when you get into Envision, mine might look a little bit different than yours, but that's okay. So at the top, you'll see this e-text. And that e-text will open up, probably for you just the first two. So just click on the student edition geometry. and then it'll open it up in a new window. And it's basically just a scanned version of the textbook. So Bailey, though, if that, for me, I hate looking at computer screens for a long time, and that sucks, like clicking through all this garbage, because it's not the most, like, it's not like you can just flip through pages. You have to go through menus, right? I mean, it's not the best thing. It's not terrible, but if you want a book, you just have to go to school. You don't need an appointment. Just show up to school and then just say, I need to pick up a textbook for my class.
Okay, that works.
Cool.
All right, thank you.
All right, Bailey. Yeah, man. See ya.
See ya.